Gay is a radio where you are family. I'm Rian and I'm chatting to Mr. Gay World South Africa, Karabo Morake. Tell us what a typical day entails for Morake.
A typical day for me is, well, I wake up and I go to work. I am a lawyer, so I'm a legal manager actually. So I work at Libco in Cape Town. So I wake up, I go to work. After work, 4:30, I go to dance practice. Dance normally takes from 5:30 to about 7:30. Sometimes after dance practice, I go to gym. After gym, I go to interviews. Like, for example, I'm always at Bush Radio FM in Cape Town, so I do that a lot. So I normally get home at about 11 o'clock on most days.
What time do you get up?
Well, I'm a very lazy person to get up actually. I I am supposed to be up at 6:30, but I snooze the alarm till 7:30 when it's just like 30 minutes left for me to get to work. I think I'm fortunate because my house is literally by my workplace, so I can just drive 5 minutes and I'm there.
Where do you get all the energy to do all this stuff?
I've always been a very energetic person. I'm born the only child, so when growing up, I always felt the need to compensate for my parents not having other children. So I just found everything possible for me to do to keep busy, and make them proud. So yeah.
And how old are you now, Karabo?
I'm 27 years old.
You are going to be representing South Africa or Southern Africa at Mr. Gay World. How did this come about?
Oh my God. So I just recently found out myself as well. So it came completely as a shock to me that I had to step in and represent. So I think this week it's been so crazy. Messages have been pumping in, articles have been written, so many things have been going on. I still have so many messages to go through on my phone and respond to everyone. It came about this past weekend actually when I was just informed that I had to step in, and I honestly didn't see or see it coming, especially when we are literally a month away from Mr. Gay World.
I was going to ask you, it's like a month and we're there, and all of a sudden, slam bam, you are fully there and you are doing that. Are you prepared?
I think when they crown you as a first prince, you should already start preparing yourself regardless of whatever. They told us very well that you guys need to be ready at all times for anything might happen. And I think luckily for me, I never stopped with my campaigns. I never stopped with pursuing my passion for the LGBTQI plus community. Even after Mr. Gay World Southern Africa, I went back to Cape Town. I was involved in so many initiatives. I was always busy going on interviews, doing MCs and doing campaign work and everything. So I never really stopped. So when I was informed a few days ago, I felt like, oh, okay, it wasn't like a train smash, like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? I felt like, oh, okay, no, that's fine. It's not like I've not been doing anything. So I've been busy with my campaigns and doing all this work. So that would be lovely for me to just compile everything that I've been doing and put it like in a document and document that and just proceed with that moving forward. The only disadvantage, obviously, is the voting. For me, that would be that I would think would be the disadvantage looking into it would be the voting, obviously, because now I'm starting from scratch with the online voting where the other delegates have received a 2 weeks kickstart. But I'm not worried about that because I think on social media I've been very active. Literally, I've been posting like a crazy person. I've been flooding each and every person's news feed like crazy. So I'm confident that even though my views wouldn't get to where I want them to get in terms of my campaign video that's on YouTube, I'm positive that I would not be the last delegate with the least views. I would stretch it to at least top 5, in terms of online social media campaign and everything. I would be able to be there, even though I've got an unfair advantage.
Now, it sounds like since you've become first prince in the Mr. Gay Southern Africa competition up to this point in time where you are about to do Mr. Gay World, it's been quite a ride for you. Can you tell me about the experience more? Have you suddenly gotten more friends? Do people want to know Karabo?
Yeah, it's been so crazy. You even mentioning that now. I just had an incident a few minutes ago, just before you called me, where I haven't been able to be on my WhatsApp completely. So since this week, I just sent a message to all the WhatsApp people and I just put it out there that, guys, I'm really sorry. I'm not going to be able to be on WhatsApp. I will be on WhatsApp for all the important messages like my parents and whatnot, but I can't like attend to all the messages. And I think that came from the fact that I've been very busy on social media, on Facebook. So everyone, literally my inbox, my messenger went really crazy to a point where I got almost 500 notifications, you know. So today, when I went through my messenger, there was one fan of mine. He wrote, "Oh, hi, I'm wishing you all the best, and I'm really happy that a black representative will be representing South Africa and all that, you know, all that nice messages and everything, positive vibes." And I only saw the message now. The message was sent on Monday. He sent another message on about Tuesday or Wednesday. So then I said, well, he was upset that I was not responding to him. So then I responded to him and I said, "I'm really sorry that I didn't respond to your message on Monday. Please bear with me that everyone else is literally messaging me and I'm trying my best to," that's what I've been doing actually since every day in the morning. I try my utmost best to respond to each and every single comment, each and every single messenger inbox, each and every single message that I'm getting. But it's so crazy that I can't get to all of them. Hey, so yeah, it has in some way changed my life. The journey from First Prince and obviously suddenly stepping in as Mr. Gay World Southern Africa is completely different. I didn't get as much recognition as the First Prince as now, you know. Now people are just going even more crazy than they went when I was the First Prince.
Was Mr. Gay Southern Africa your first competition that you entered, or have you done other competitions?
No, I hadn't. And it was really funny because most of the delegates had, well, like, for example, John Pinnick had entered Mr. Mardi Gras and he won Mr. Mardi Gras. Rian Phillips was Mr. Gay Cape Town. A few of them had titles already. You know, Henku also had entered Mr. Mardi Gras and did Mr. Gay South Africa before they changed it to Southern Africa. So a few of them had titles. And for me, I was like the rookie. It was completely new to me. But I think what was an advantage for me is that I went with a plan. I didn't just go into it with a blind eye. I first planned everything before I stepped into the war zone. So I was fully prepared. I knew exactly what to expect, and I was very focused. I think the most important thing for me was focus. It's very easy to lose your focus, especially when you're in such a competition of such caliber, like a pageant like that. It's very easy for you to forget why you are even there or to feel intimidated, especially when you see other guys. You know, we are different as people. We have different views. People have different campaigns coming into this competitions as well. So they have got different campaigns, and I think the most important thing is to remain true to who you are and be confident with what you have and who you are as a person. That is the most important thing.
What made you decide to actually enter the competition?
What made me decide is that I was going through a series of personal events with my coming out story. I was a late bloomer. Well, I came out when I was 21. And that was just when I just moved, before I moved to Cape Town. So coming out for me in a town like Mafeking is very stereotypical. It's very, you know, it's not as open and as receptive as Cape Town. And especially with the black people being the majority of the population in Mafeking, you know, it's just a taboo in terms of our religion, our tradition, our culture. You don't do that. You can't say you're gay. It's against all things possible. So for me coming out, especially also being the only child and coming from a very religious family, with a very strong cultural background, it was one of the most difficult things that I have ever had to experience. And I came so close to ending my life, I almost committed suicide. I spoke about it while I was busy doing my campaigns, which is Tell Your Story. And I'm the forefront of that campaign as well. And I spoke about it openly on social media as part of my campaign for Mr. Gay World Southern Africa. And what motivated me is that as soon as I started speaking openly about it, before I even entered, I realized that a lot of people in my community, well, a lot of black people are going through the same things that I went through. Understand? Yeah. So that sort of like pushed me and motivated me to to just being an activist and being an ambassador for the LGBTIQ. I always say we are very different as people, Rian. You know, some people are not as confident as I am. Some people are not as vocal as I am. They're not able to stand up in front and say, well, this is what I believe in and this is who I am. Some people get into this, they try to come out, or they're still in the closet and they go through the deepest, darkest roads you can ever think of, you know, to the point where you literally end up killing yourself. not because of anything, but because of the community, the influence, everything, the social background that is the social influence that surrounds you as a person. It becomes so hard and difficult for you to actually breathe and say and live freely. So most people don't survive it. I know I was on that road and it was not easy, even for a strong person as me. I was at a place where I felt like, you know what, I don't have anything to live for. I'm just tired. And if this disease does not want to go away because everyone else is telling me that it's bad or whatever it is, if it's not going to be curable, then I might as well just die because, well, then I'm going to go to hell. But I went on that journey, and it was a self-discovery journey as well, to say, you know what, God, there's nothing wrong with me actually, because if this is who I am and if you've made me who I am, then there's nothing wrong with me. I think I'm perfect the way I am. And I think God makes everyone unique in their own being, you know? So why should I let people influence me or try and sway me to believing that there's something wrong with me? So I entered, especially for people who were going through the similar things and as I did, and as well as my other campaign, which is Law for All. Being a legal person, I realized that, you know, there's so many loopholes within legislation in our country, in South Africa, that it was really shocking to me that, oh my God, you know, there's a drag person who comes to work, and because people are really not educated, it scares them. It scares them to allow the drag person to come to work as a drag person, or to allow somebody who's transitioning to come to work as a person that he or she is transitioning into. You understand? So it's still a shocker. It's a quite a, oh my God, is this happening? You know, it's still a shocker. We had somebody at work that was working at our workplace, and he was a drag queen, and he identified more as a drag artist, and he wanted to live 80% of his life in drag more than in his normal person, you know, in his not normal person, but in his normal daily life, you know. So yes, he wanted to come to work as in drag, but that was not allowed. So I realized, I said, wow, you know, what does the Basic Conditions Act of Employment say about this? What does the labor relations say about this? It says nothing. Since the constitutional dispensation of 1993, we've had the constitution which says, oh, homosexuality is constitutionalized, but we've never had legislation that affirmatively say, well, for LGBTQI persons, here is your legislation, here's your document, here's the act that governs you in the workplace. What can be family responsibility for a transgender, for a bisexual, for a gay person, can completely be a different a different case for a heterosexual person. We are different people. I was also touched because I had friends from work who, a lesbian couple, they just got married and they were having a child through surrogacy. And when they went to Home Affairs to get a birth certificate, there was no papers that said, what is it, parent or LGBTI or whatever, that catered for us as individuals. There was father and mother. And on the father one, they scratched it out on the birth certificate, and then they wrote parent next to it. And it shocked me. It absolutely left me utterly shocked and speechless that even after the 20 years of democracy, we are still in a country where we are scratching out paperwork and we are writing parent. You're going to a job interview today, and there's no field for LGBTI plus. It's mother, it's female, male, and other, you know. So other can be associated with so many things. And at the end of the day, when you sit down, you don't want to affiliate with other. You're not a dog or a cat or other as an animal or whatever. You're an LGBTQI plus activist or ambassador or person or somebody who identifies with one of those under the umbrella. You understand? For me, all those issues started sort of boiling up. And I felt like, you know what? I need to do something. I need to stand up and I need to enter. I need to get a voice. I need to enter a platform which will award me a bigger voice than the voice that I have now. I need to make a difference, you know? And then I entered, and I always say that it took Nelson Mandela to make a difference, one person. Why do we have to wait for a lot of people in the country to make a difference? Why doesn't it just take one person to start?
Now, I think the other thing is you've touched on the black community here, and I think you're the first black representative, are you, in the Mr. Gay Southern Africa competition, representing us in Mr. Gay World. How does that feel?
Oh my God, it feels amazing. It really feels amazing. I'm honestly still trying to digest and stomach everything that's happening because it's big news. It even went viral. You know, I was on YouTube the other day, and then I saw that so many news are touching on this and they're speaking about it, and I was not even aware. You know, I'm just living in my world, and I don't know that this is actually so much bigger than it is already. But for me, I'm really excited about it. I'm very happy about it, and I'm just happy that I'm making a difference. I'm just happy that it's not, for me, I don't look at it as me. I look at it as a community for everyone else. So I don't specifically apply to myself. I just make it about everyone. So I'm really happy.
You mentioned some of your causes that you hold close to your heart. Is there any other causes that's important to you?
I just had two campaigns, which is the Tell Your Story and the Law for All, making law really equal to everyone and not just saying it in the constitution and just leaving it as the right to equality. But I'm also in touch with a lot of things. I support other people. I'm an LGBTQI activist, meaning that I don't only support my own causes, I also support other people. I also, we have a very big, dancing with the Queens in Cape Town. It is a Latin ballroom competition that looks at the LGBTI specifically, so I'm also engaging in that. I'm always in the public eye. I'm always at events. I'm always asking to help, to MC, to do whatever I can do to help other LGBTQI plus people, that also have a strong passion in their own cause. You understand?
You've mentioned dancing now a couple of times, and I am dying to ask you, what dancing do you do?
I am trained Latin and ballroom since I was about 10 years old. And from the age of, I think, 7, I dance traditional dance. That's what I started with. Setso, Resibita Setso in Setswana. Traditional Tswana dance. And then my mother took me out of it because she felt that I was going to be a traditional doctor. That's when I enrolled into the arts of Latin and ballroom. And then I started freestyle, hip hop, kwaito, house. So I'm actually trained in quite a few styles of dance.
Dance competitions, have you won any of those?
I've won so many things. I've got so many trophies. They're piling up dust at my mother's house in Mafeking. I still have more here in Cape Town, back at my house. But the biggest one that I'll just mention a few biggest ones. I was a youth championship Latin undefeated championship for 2010, 11, and 12. And I am current South African Best Male Latin American Dancer for South African Dance Awards that was broadcasted on national TV. They haven't crowned anyone yet. They haven't had awards after that. They had to do this 2017 last year, but then it was postponed to 2018. So I'm the current South African Best Male Latin American Dancer. I also did So You Think You Can Dance back in 2013. Yeah, I think that was season 3, the last season 3 of So You Think You Can Dance. I did that. It was also on national television. I went as far as top 24, but then I had to leave that. Well, I was still busy with it because I immediately got a job in Cape Town. So while in Cape Town, while we were shooting, I had to fly back to go start my job. So I tried to squeeze everything in.
Do you think getting the title as Mr. Gay World South Africa will make your causes easier?
I think so. I think people when you have titles, not when you have titles, but when you're known, people listen more. You understand? And it reaches places where it never reached before. So I can sit and I can scream around here, but it will only affect people who are just around me. But if I've got a bigger voice and I scream even louder, other people who didn't hear me before will hear me. So I think it does.
Now, I think the other big question I have, are you planning to wear anything traditional for the Mr. Gay World competition?
People will only find out when they buy their tickets and they come and watch.
How are you preparing for Mr. Gay World?
I recently started applying. Well, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? 2 days ago. I'm a very intellectual person, very logical person. I don't just plan with my head. I need to sit down. I need to be with my books. I need to sit down with a pen and paper, and I need to formulate a strategy. Because I believe in winning anything. From my past experience, what has always gotten me to win things is to have a strategy and to have a plan of action and to stick to the plan. So obviously, 2 days ago, just a day after I found out, I sat in the study and I sat with my books and I started going through everything, reading things and just researching. And I started thinking, Karabo, what are you going to do to win? Because you know what? I believe we all have good bodies. We all look good. We all can model. We all can speak. But there needs to be an X factor that you are bringing that somebody else is not bringing. And what is it about you that separates you from everyone else? What is so special about you that is going to make you win? That's the first question I ask myself. What are you going to do to make an even bigger difference? Because all the other delegates have made differences in their country. We've made differences. So what is your ultimate goal? And draw a timeline from A, get to Z. How are you going to get to Z? And what is your plan? So that is my rough draft of what I'm doing to getting to winning it, because I'm honestly not going for top 3 again. I got top 3 with Mr. Gay World Southern Africa. I won the title now, and I think the best thing about me being a delegate is that no one sees me as a threat right now, because everyone had already gotten a kickstart. So one of the best advantages about me starting only now is that, I'm that, what do you see? what do you call it? You call it somebody that you didn't expect in a competition to win. That rookie, that unforeseeable force to be reckoned with. I think that's what I am right now, and everyone else is already prepared. They've already taken it and let it sunk in. So for me, it feels like it's suddenly been announced that I just won Mr. Gay World Southern Africa. So when that hype again is back, that energy, that commitment, that dedication, that passion, everything is suddenly back. And for all the other delegates, they already had that when they were announced last year or when they were announced early this year when they won. They already had that. So they are more comfortable and more relaxed. That's what I know. So I think that's where I am. I'm very happy. I'm very excited. I'm planning to win, to do the best that I can do, you know?
What will it mean to you if you win the competition?
It will mean so much to me because for me, last year, I really wanted to win. You know, I really, really wanted to win. And John also, he knew that much. And when we met, we were very close, you know, at the competition. And he said to me, you know, if I don't win, I would want you to win. And I said the same thing to him because I think it was because we knew how hard we wanted it and how hard we worked. So for me, if I win this one, it will be just an even more bigger reward than the one that I missed. It will be you missed an opportunity. You came so close, Karabo. You came as close as first prince. And now you have an opportunity to go as Mr. Gay World Southern Africa that just stepped in and actually take it. This is a second chance for me, you know? So it would mean absolutely so much for me. What it would do for me, I really want to put the LGBTQI plus community platform. I want to open the horizons to broaden it in South Africa. Really, people only come out during Pride. You know, you go to Johannesburg Pride and there's a lot of people. You go to Cape Town Pride, there's a lot of people. But I want a constant face. I want a constant on the media, on television. I want a constant activist that is always representing, that is always talking about issues, that is always fighting for us. I don't want it just to be a one-day show where we all walk and we all march, which is amazing, which is really amazing because the cause behind that is really fulfilling. But I want it an every single day thing. I want somebody who will wear that belt and actually carry out the passion for the country. And remember now, it's not only the country that you're making proud of, it's a world, it's for the world. So now you don't make a difference for your country, only you make a difference for the world, for the entire world, which is amazing. So that is what it would absolutely mean for me.
Do you have any advice for your fellow contestants?
Oh my God, even if I had advice, I don't think I don't think I would share good advice or anything with them. But yeah, for the fellow contestants, I can't wait to meet everyone. I can't wait to build relationships, connect with other countries, and learn about their initiatives as well, their campaigns and everything. And the only advice that I would bring is be ready for South Africa, be ready for Karabo, because I'm coming and I'm going to bring it and bring it really hard. So that's the only thing that I can say.
Talking about being ready for Karabo, tell me something about Karabo that nobody else knows.
I am very hard on myself. People don't know this. I am an overachiever. So I am so hard on myself that sometimes I lock myself in the room. Like to people, to the public, to Facebook and Instagram and everything, social media, you won't see me break. I am always on. When I'm on TV doing interviews, I'm always very confident in everything. But I am very hard on myself that when sometimes I get in my room and I can literally just cry the whole day. And I cry because I'm not getting what I want when I want it. So I would really be hard on myself and be like, but I really want this now. And I would just be so emotional and I would just beat myself up about it. That normally happens a lot, not a lot, but few occasions. And how I come out from it is that I actually believe that having a good crying session actually helps you get what you want even more, especially when you're emotional about things. I believe that you need to cry. So sometimes my cousin, she knows this about me, and my best friend Tammy, she knows this about me. I think they're the only two people with my parents that know about me and this thing. Sometimes when I haven't had a good crying session, I just make time for one. I know it's crazy. It sounds completely hilarious. Sometimes when I'm going through stress at work and then I get home and my little cousin would ask me, why are you in the room? What are you doing? I'm like, listen, I need sweets right now. I need chips, I need a cold drink, I need all these junk things from the fridge. I'm gonna be in my room the whole day. If it's a weekend, I'm gonna be in the room for the whole weekend. And I tell her, listen, I'm going to be crying. I'm going to have a good cry session. And on Monday when I come out, I'm going to be fierce. I'm going to be ready for the world. I'm going to conquer. So that's just one thing that I do that a lot of people don't know about me.
My last question, I think that's sort of hanging in the air that people would love to know is, do you have a boyfriend?
Yes, I have a boyfriend. Recently gotten into a relationship, and he's amazing. I'm actually at the moment having this call with you all the way from Germany. We came to Germany on Tuesday. Yeah, I arrived in Germany on Tuesday. We left on Monday. So I'm just here for a short visit. I'm coming back. So I always tell people, don't worry, I'm just here for a short visit. I'm coming back. And one thing I'll tell people that people don't know or that people would want to know is that I think he's the one, and I'm meeting his parents today. Like, so it's a big thing. I'm so nervous.
Karabo, thank you so much for your time. It's been amazing talking to you, and all the best of luck for the competition.
Thank you so much. Before I go, I just want to say that please, South Africa must vote for the online votings, and they must just go on YouTube and search Karabo Morake, Mr. Gay World 2018 delegate. Then they will see my campaign video. They must view it, they must share it, they must like, they must comment. But most importantly, they must go on the www.mrgayworld website, and they must go to the register. Before they vote, they need to register. Registering is very free. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and they must vote. They get free votes every 24 hours. You can vote for South Africa. So please vote, guys, and show your love and support. I really appreciate that.
That was Karabo Morake, our current Mr. Gay World Southern Africa finalist. I'm Rian, and you are listening to Gay is a Radio. We